And Mike had these little Volkswagen arm door handles. They aren't really an armrest, but you could grab them and slam the door. They're not much. Not much. They're not beautiful. They're not super functional. I actually yanked one off the door because the only thing it was screwed to was this piece of plywood on the back. So what I was trying to do is figure out how could I put a real armrest on here. And what I did was I put a bolt in the center of the door. There's a spot here where I have room to get that bolt head in here and get the glass up and down where it doesn't touch on the back. And if I put an arm from this point to this point in the door, I could shoot a Tek screw through this point in the door without hitting glass, because the glass is back in here pretty far where it won't hit that. I will test that by rolling that window down just to make sure. So I put this piece of plywood on here to mark for my hole, because I was trying to measure for the hole that I want that to be in. See, that's the bolt right there. And my thinking is the armrest will go from here to here. Let me test that window. I mentioned that I felt like that window could go down. There's the window coming down right there. And see, if I reach to this hole, I'm past that window. On this car, I have to kind of woggle that window a little bit to get it to go down, because it has a little more weight on the back than it does on the front. So usually I have to do this to get it down. I was trying to figure it out if there's anything I could get to that I could oil to make that better, but I don't really see anything. But the main thing I'm looking for right at this moment is to make sure, see, this is in here as an anchoring point for an armrest. And then if I reach my finger in here, you see my finger touching that? Well, that finger is past the window. So if I put a Tek screw here, like if I put something from here to here on the outside of the door panel and then made that into an armrest, that would be a good place for it to sit. And I sat in the car and I tested this spot, and it's about the right spot for an armrest for me. So now I should be able to take this piece over to here. This goes like that. Make sure I'm getting that right. The higher up one is on this side. No, the higher up one, yeah, is on this side. So that would mean that we get this right. Yeah. If I get these two holes lined up, then that hole should be right for the hole that I'm going to drill. That's what I'm shooting for. So I'm going to need to make a hole in this thing without tearing it or messing it up. I'm going to put the camera down while I figure that out. This is a tool that's made to make holes with. My dad was an upholstery worker. This is one of the tools he had. But if you find where you want your hole to be and you sit this down on it and you hit it with a hammer, that should punch a hole in the fabric or cut a hole in the fabric. And I've got this set up where I want my hole to be right here. I may want to make some adjustments, I don't know. Well, I made a hole, and that took the plywood and everything. So, I guess now we'll see if the hole's gonna fit. If not, I'll be very sad. The hole's big enough, the screw needs to be a little longer. I might have to run into town to get me one. We'll see. See if I got one. Quick little look at what I've got so far there. I am gonna need to line up the door panel with the edge of the door over there. And what I mean is, like right up in here where this door comes out, I need it to open and close without getting hung up there. And I'm gonna go around and open it, and we'll have a little look at what I'm talking about. Yeah, see when I open that and the door panel is flipping back. Yeah, that's a problem. It's close. It's very close. It could probably be bumped that way a little and be okay. This may turn into a project that I need to call it a day on and come back to tomorrow. But let's try setting this up here with the little piece that goes above that. That's a pretty good start. What I'm going to do is I made this little blue piece of plastic here, and it's just on here to protect this. But what I'm going to do is make something like this to go under each one of these handles. I've made these out of tea jugs and milk cartons and all sort of things. It's just a little nylon bushing that gets in here. Kind of hides the hole, but also when you're turning a crank, you don't wind up wearing a mark around where that turns. I make these, so this was a blue butter dish. The blue works pretty good. I probably want them to be a little smaller, and eventually I'm going to have an armrest here, so eventually this round circle won't be showing here. I'll make something, I don't know what yet, that comes out here and comes back, and I might just put a little handle right here. This knob here is for the door handle, and it don't need to go down, and this one does go around, but it's clear of that. So I got to get some more of these little washers. I got a bunch of them somewhere up there. I know I got to go find where they're at to put more screws in that door. But that's a good start. I think my window's still good. I think it still goes up and down like it's supposed to. Yeah, that's good. Rides in the track like it's supposed to. I got a little piece of insulation sticking out here and stick that down in there. Overtime. But yeah, I'll go and find me some more washers and then I'll come back to this. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me so far today. Wouldn't be any fun without you. That's what I always tell everybody.